If you have pain on the inside of your elbow here, then this video is for you. I'm going to briefly discuss golfer's elbow and show you 3 exercises which can help. The term golfer's elbow is a common term for pain on the inside of your elbow here, but actually it's not the best term because it certainly doesn't only occur in golfers. It can occur in just about anyone. The preferred term is medial elbow tendinopathy, which means persistent tendon pain and loss of function. And it affects these tendons in the forearm and elbow, which are involved in tasks such as gripping and squeezing, as well as rotation of the forearm. So when it comes to tendinopathy, what is the best strategy? Should I rest my elbow completely, or should I do exercises to strengthen it? Well, the answer is it can be a little bit of both. If there are activities which are particularly aggravating the elbow, then it may be wise to back off from those for the time being. Whether that's playing golf, painting, woodworking, typing, lifting weights, whatever it is that's really aggravating it. You might have to spend less time doing that activity or find ways to make that activity less strenuous for your hand and forearm muscles. However, we don't want to completely rest the elbow, and in fact, doing exercises to strengthen those muscles and tendons can be helpful. You need to find a balance between backing off from the aggravating activities whilst doing these exercises in a controlled way to help build up strength of the tendons. Exactly how that looks is going to be different for each person, and it might take a bit of trial and error to find the strategy that works best for you. Now, that being said, let's get into those 3 exercises which can help. Our first exercise is a wrist curl. This is going to work these wrist and forearm muscles here that are related to the tendons affected with golfer's elbow. I'm going to start with a dumbbell with my wrist supported, palm facing up, holding that weight, and the idea is we are bending the wrist down and curling it back up as high as we can. Down and up, and that is working these forearm muscles here and where they attach onto the elbow. Of course, if you don't have a weight, you can use any objects from around the house. Something like a water bottle is going to work really well. Same thing, forearm supported, bending down and up, working those muscles. So we want to do 3 sets of about 8 to 12 reps with a weight that is fairly challenging, so it shouldn't feel too easy. Our second exercise is wrist or forearm pronation. It looks very similar and the setup is quite similar. We're going to have our forearm supported again. Instead of holding the middle of the weight, I'm going to hold it down one end with the longer part coming out the same side as my thumb. So with palm facing up like this, I'm turning the wrist and forearm up until the weight gets to vertical and then lowering it back down. Turning up to vertical and lowering back down. We call this action forearm pronation. It's working much of the same muscles that attach onto those tendons as well. So similar to the other one, we'll do 3 sets of 8 to 12 controlled repetitions. Once again, if you don't have a dumbbell, you could use a water bottle. We're going to hold the end of the bottle, long side out the same side as your thumb. Same thing, turning down and up. And your classic household hammer works really well for this. We're going to hold the handle. It's got the weight at the end, which is great because that's what we want for this exercise. And we're turning the wrist up and lowering back down. Slow and controlled. That is wrist or forearm pronation. Our third and final exercise is grip holds. This is to work on our gripping strength. I'm going to start with a dumbbell, holding the end of it with my fingers spread out like this, and I'm simply going to hold it down here by my side. And it's just a sustained hold. We can do 30 to 60 seconds. The idea is it is working these gripping muscles, all these forearm muscles, and practicing your gripping strength. Because we're just holding still, we want to make sure it is nice and challenging, so it should be really heavy. So heavy that you're struggling by the end of that 30 to 60 seconds, however long you're choosing to do it. Of course, you can use any household object for this. Water bottle, holding the bottom like that, same concept. Something like a milk bottle works great. Obviously fill it up with water, 2-litre bottle, then you've got a 2-kilo weight. You can hold the end of it, and there you go. So I would do 3 30 to 60 second holds, making sure it's quite heavy. Some mild pain with these exercises is to be expected, and it's okay as long as it's not leaving you too sore afterwards or the next day. So try doing those exercises about 3 times per week, and you should notice your symptoms gradually improve. But this can take weeks or months, so be patient and stick with it. Okay, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Oh, and the YouTube algorithm thinks you might want to watch this video next.